In this video, we'll discuss deadlock. Deadlock is a situation in which threads are waiting for each other to release the lock. Let's look into this example. We have two threads, thread 1 and thread 2. So thread 1 is waiting on lock on thread 2 and thread 2 is waiting on lock on thread 1. So there might be some other lock which thread 1 has obtained on some of the resource, and now it is trying to get a lock on an object which thread 2 has the lock. And thread 2 similarly is trying to get the lock in an object which thread 1 has the lock. So they both are waiting for each other to release the lock, but due to dependency on each other, they cannot release the lock, and that's why they are in a deadlock situation. And we'll see an example next which will clarify this. So let's look into this example. This is a bank deposit deadlock example, and in this example there are two different threads which are attempting to transfer money between the two same accounts at the same time. So here's what's happening. Student A is transferring his semester fee of $3,000 to the university bank account, and university is refunding $1,000 for the classes student A didn't take in the previous semester. Both student and university are trying to transfer money to each other account at the same time. So in this situation, student A is trying to transfer the money or transfer the semester fee, and university is trying to transfer the refund money to the student account, and both of them are trying to transfer at the same time. Now let's look into the implementation side. So from implementation, we have two threads. So thread 1 is transferring the money from a student account to university bank account. So there is no lock on the student account, so a lock is guaranteed to thread 1. Now thread 2 is transferring the money from university account to student bank account. There is no lock on the university account, so a lock is guaranteed to thread 2. Now thread 1, who has a lock on the student account, is now trying to get a lock on the university account in order to transfer the money from student account to university account. And thread 2, which has a lock on the university account, is also trying to get a lock on a student account, as it already has a lock on university account, in order to transfer the money from university account to student account. So thread 1 is waiting for thread 2 to release the lock so that it can complete the transaction of withdrawing the money from a student account to university account. And thread 2 is waiting for thread 1 to release the lock on the student account so that it can transfer the money from university account to the student account. The threads are in a deadlock state, as each thread will be waiting indefinitely for each other to release the lock. Now let's look into livelock. So livelock is also like deadlock, but there is a small difference between livelock and deadlock. In livelock, threads are doing something in order to solve the problem, like they are reverting back and then doing a retry. A livelock happens when the combination of these processes effort to resolve the problem make it impossible for them to ever terminate. An example of livelock is a husband and wife are trying to eat soup but only have one spoon between them. Each spouse is too polite and will pass the spoon if other has not eaten. So in this case, nobody is eating the soup, but they are doing something actively, as they are passing the spoon between each other, but nobody is eating the soup, so they are in a deadlock situation. Another example of livelock is two people attempting to pass each other in a corridor. Person A moves to his left to let person B pass, while person B moves to his right to let person A pass. Seeing that they are still blocking each other, person A moves to his right, while person B moves to his left, and they are still blocking each other. So they are actively doing something. They are trying to unblock each other, but they are in a deadlock situation, but they are doing actively something. And that's a situation of livelock. Now, in terms of bank deposit, what livelock example would look like. In this example, there are two threads attempting to transfer money between the two same accounts at the same time. Student A is transferring his semester fee to the university bank account. University is refunding $1,000 for the classes student A didn't take in the previous semester. And both the student and university are trying to transfer money to each other account at the same time. So the difference, so this is the problem statement, and the difference we'll be looking into the implementation, which is next. So in this case, transaction 1 withdraw 3,000 from student A account. Transaction 2 withdraw 1,000 from university account. Transaction 1 failed to deposit money into university account because transaction 2 has a lock on university account. Student account is refunded. So when we look at the deadlock example, we saw that there was no refunding happening. In that case, thread was constantly in a deadlock situation. But in this case, threads are trying to revert back the transaction and refunding the money back to the student account. Transaction 2 failed to deposit money into a student account because transaction 1 has a lock on a student account. University account is refunded. Transaction 1 again withdraws 3,000 from a student account. Transaction 2 again withdraw 1,000 from university account. Transaction 1 again failed to deposit money into university account because transaction 2 has a lock on university account. Student account is refunded. Transaction 2 again failed to deposit money into student account because transaction 1 has a lock on student account. University account is refunded, and so on.